Hi, I'm Everett. Welcome back to the shop. This time in the shop, I've got a project for one of my buddies who has one of those, well, you know, the old barn 22s, the ones that have had been sitting out a little bit too long or whatever, and he's trying to clean it up a little bit and make it functional. And the problem is it's actually missing the bolt knob for the bolt handle. So he asked me to make him one. If I was going to make him one that would fit as far as making it original and make it look original, it would have to have a little ball in the end, probably about 5/8, 3/4 inch diameter. However, he wants something a little bit different, something that'd be easier for him to use with his fingers, because he's an adult man and this rifle was made for probably a boy back in the, or girl if they were kind of tomboyish back in the day. Again, this is 60, 70, 80 years ago. The thing is, he wants a handle that's a little bit longer, a little bit easier to grab with his adult fingers. So he gave me some specifications that he wanted roughly 1.5 inches long, knurled, and fitting that handle. So with that, I figured I'd use 01 drill rod, because 01 drill rod is, in the annealed state, has some hardness to it, more so than mild steel, but it's not too hard to cut, and it'll still be a nice material to work with. It's just a single shot, nothing really to write home about as far as being rare, I don't think. So it says something about sure shot, 22 caliber, sort of in the rating there on the back end of the barrel. Looks like it's had some rust pitting that's been cleaned up, whatever, a little bit of bluing missing, well, quite a bit actually, but it looks like he's refinishing the stock here. I was showing him some of the stuff I've done before for people, just helping out buddies and things on the screen. So I showed him this one here that I made for another fella I know. He has a little Savage B-Mag rifle, and he wanted a longer handle. So I made him the actual handle and then the knob. So I was talking to this fella here who owns this one, and he says he wants a knob something similar to that one. He was saying he wants about 1.5 inches long. We're probably going to go about 1/2 inch in diameter, but for the actual handle portion back here. But we'll have to deal with the diameter as it goes up the shank of the bolt handle. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer, and then we'll check out what thread we have to work with and where to go from there. First off, what we need to do is see what diameter we have to work with. So the diameter of the threads is about 200 thou. The diameter of that shank that we have to cover is about 200 thou, a little bit over, 202 or so. It goes in both directions. About 200 there. He wants it sticking off by about 1.5 inches, but we need to also figure out what thread this is. But I had gone through earlier and found that the 24 TPI leaf, I know it's kind of glaring there, but the 24 TPI leaf meshes with the threads. Doing a little bit of looking, turns out, it's definitely not going to be metric, judging by the age of the rifle, but that's going to be a number 10 24 thread. As far as the thread's concerned, I do have a 1024 thread in a bottoming thread, or bottoming tap, which is actually kind of nice. And what I also wanted to do is see what I had for to open up the hole in the shank and make it nice and clean. And I actually have a 13/64 reamer, which, nicely enough, is about 203. This one measures out about 203.5 thou. That gives me a couple of thousandths of clearance as I spin it over the handle here, so it'll spin up nice and without jamming. So I got a short chunk of 1/2 inch drill rod here. It's be plenty enough for what we're going to be doing. It's already been partially drilled in the one end, but that doesn't really matter for our purposes. I'm going to start from the cleaner end. Everything's going to be done in one mounting, so the 3-jaw will be plenty accurate enough. Let's face it off first. There we go. Now we're going to have to knurl this, so what I'd like to do is put a center drill in the end to support it. The reason I'm not spinning any faster is because, again, it's 01 tool steel. Even though it's in the annealed state at this point, I'd rather err on the side of not breaking off my twist drill. Here, give it a little bit of support. Next step is knurling. And I put my knurling tool here somewhere. You know, to be honest with you, this cover here is sometimes more of a nuisance than it's worth. Thing is, I know if I remove it, then the YouTube safety police will be after me. Yeah, here's our cutting oil. Now, we need to go back, or we need to make this handle about 1.5 inches long. I can do my final measurements and such later. We'll make the knurling a little bit longer in case we have to face a little bit off this end. Now, knurling almost seems like one of those black arts that you have to fiddle with until you find sort of what works for that application. I know there are calculations you can make for certain bits of this, but I've never really figured out how to do that properly. So let's feed in with a little bit of pressure. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. It's now time to center drill the end here so we can tap it. The correct tap drill size for a 1024, number 1024 screw thread is a number 25. I don't have a number 25. It says the next closest fractional would be a 5/32, which comes out about 156 thousandths. A number 25 drill is 150 thousandths. Number 24 drill is 152 thousandths. So we're going to go with the number 24 because in order to get the a decent thread depth. He wants the handle to encroach over top, or to cover the end of the bolt handle tang itself by about half an inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the hole itself give or take about half an inch. Goes down to the bottom of the center drill mark. Edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And well, yeah. Give or take 580-ish. Again, that part isn't as critical. Because I'm going to use a reamer in the end here, I don't want to have too much material to take off with this small of a hole. I'm going to use a number 8 drill bit to drill in about just about 1/4 inch, which is how much this thing needs to stick over. And then from there, then I can run the reamer in that depth, and then I can use the tap set to thread the hole in the bottom. So I've turned the speed way down. I'm going to have to be very careful, because I don't want to hook the front edge of this thing. 100, 200. Right there, I can feel the bottom. And now it's time for the other fluid. Put the neutral. There, I can feel the bottom of the hole right there. Yes, Pierre, you were definitely right. These high-speed steel taps are worth their weight in gold. So much better. Bottoming tap. A little bit of the magic tapping fluid. There we go. That's the bottom of the hole. So now, what I want to do, I'm just going to set up the compound rest, or the compound, at an angle that looks, well, just looks pleasing. Because really, I just need to make that nice little angle there, and then cut it off at the back, and we're pretty much done. Say at 15, I'd make a 30-degree included. I think that will look proportional. It'll give a little bit of clearance to the wood on the stock. That looks like. Actually not bad. And as screaming as it is, it's actually, squealing as it is, it's actually not that bad of a surface finish. You know, I think I'm going to go for a shallower angle. Now that I'm looking at that and looking at where it's going to go on the gun, I might go for a slightly shallower angle. Let's go for 10 degrees. Which creates a 20-degree included. So he said he wanted it approximately 1.5 inches long, because I mean really, and I can see why. Here. With a gun that size, you don't want a massive handle hanging off the side like a Remington 700 tactical. I mean, it wouldn't look proportional. I like how that's coming out. It looks nice, if I do say so myself. It's not too aggressive of a knurl as far as being rough on the hands. Yeah, I like that. I'm really happy with how it's coming out. And I'm going to cheat. I really don't feel like setting up the parting tool. Again, it'd be nice to not have this guard in the place. And I know I wouldn't snag myself as long as I'm careful. But sure enough, if I take it off, somebody out there is going to start flaming me with bad reviews of things because of unsafe work habits or something. There you go. There you have it. One nice little bolt knob. I actually kind of like how that one turned out. Nice project to do on a Sunday afternoon. My son's out in the backyard with my wife. He's playing in his little splashy pool. So I'll get this together and I might go out and play with him. So the end of the handle here actually has a little bit of a mushroom on the threads, and I don't want to mess up their newly made threads going into the handle itself. So let's get this guy here, spin him on. Yeah, there we are. There we are. I'll clean up the end a little bit. Take our knob. I think it came out nicely. Take our knob. Click. You heard it, didn't you? So there we go. Said he wanted it about 1.5 inches long. Yeah. Actually, I kind of like how that look came out and how it looks. So there you have it. Nice little Sunday afternoon lathe project. Nice and relaxing, and be able to actually spend some time back out here again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you next time.